Welcome to Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today I'm going to be canning peaches and some pears. I posted this on my Facebook page, but I have 2 bushels of Georgia peaches, and we got these, they're organic. We got these at our local Whole Foods store. They're 2 bushels of peaches, or half a bushel. Looks like 1 complete bushel of peaches. I apologize, didn't read very good. And we've got looks like a little over half a bushel of pears that are from Washington State. So let's get started. I'm going to set up the video and I'm going to do some okay, I've got my peaches over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rinse off, because you know they all have those little stickers on them. And when we were at Whole Foods, the produce guy talked to us about this veggie wash. It's an organic veggie wash, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's basically I'm going to research some of the ingredients, but some of the main ingredients are apple cider vinegar, and I think that's a really good product, a good natural product. This is GMO free as well. And for any reason, if any of the peaches in here, let's just say you got them at a regular supermarket, he told us that once we rinse them, we spray each one, and it'll actually turn regular fruit into organic. This particular solvent removes all of the pesticides off of the skin. Now the skin's going to absorb some, so we don't want to fool ourselves. So, but I'm going to try it and see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and start slicing some of these up and rinse them off and take the spray, and I'm just going to spray them down. And then I'm just going to rinse them as I go. And this will just actually loosen up any of the pesticides that are on them. And there's lemon oil too. I can smell it. There's a lot of lemon oil in there. Now you can slice peaches the traditional style. I'm going to have this bowl here for my seeds. My grandmother taught me how to slice a peach, but she also used another method, and that is you could take boiling water and bring it up to a boil, and then turn your stove off, and you can take a slotted spoon or ladle. You can dip your peaches in the hot water for just maybe 5 seconds, take them out, and the skin should slide right off. So that's one way to do them. And then I'm just going to slice them in half like that. And then if you'll take your knife and sort of twist it from bottom to top, your peach will give way on you, and you'll have the peach out like that. And then I just take out the seed. Try to get the seed out as clean as possible. And I'm going to freeze them, because when we move to our homestead, we're going to have an orchard of peach trees. And if you've not seen the Kentucky Homesteader channel, I'm going to put a link to the bottom down below. He did a video on taking regular peach seeds that you buy, freezing them, and when they thaw they sprout out of the bottom and you can start a peach tree. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep all these seeds, and I'm going to freeze them, and they'll freeze up to 5 years, and I'm going to see which ones take off and which ones don't. I'm going to give them all a try. Now I'm going to be canning peach halves as well as sliced peaches. I'm also going to be freezing, and I'm going to be making some peach butter in another video. So anyway, let me get my bowl for my peaches, a bigger bowl that I'm going to use to put them in. And canning peaches, all you need to do is water can them. You don't need to pressure cook them in any way. In fact, you wouldn't want to pressure cook them, because they would just like turn to mush. So you're just going to water can these. And I'll peel a few here on the video, and then I'll get them all peeled. I've got a lot of peeling to do. As you saw, the 2 full cases that I have. We love these in smoothies. These are very high in vitamin B, and we just love peaches. You got to be really skilled at a knife. I wouldn't give this job to a child or even a teenager that's not skilled with a knife, because you could slip and, you know, hurt yourself. So, okay. So we will be back. I've rinsed all these, but slice a few on here. We love peaches, and we hope to have one of our driveways into our property lined with fruit trees. That's our dream. That's what we'd like to have done. So you got to shoot for something, right? And I'm going to also do a light syrup with these when I can them. I'm not just going to put water in them. I'm going to can them with a light syrup, and you can use just pure cane sugar, water, in your light syrup. I'm also going to try and make my grandmother's peach cobbler for my husband. He has been looking forward to these peaches getting processed so that we can have a peach cobbler. So I have every intentions on doing that as well. Okay guys, I am going to keep going. I've got a lot of peaches to do. I may even go sit down at the table to finish them. And for some reason you can't recruit people to help you do peaches. Nobody wants to come help you. So this is going to be just a labor of love, and great gifts I can give away at the holidays for peach pie and fruit cocktail and all kinds of things. So, all right, we will be back. Got all of my 2 crates or 1 bushel of peaches all sliced. Most of the people that can take all of their fruit and put it in a big pot, and they create a simple syrup and mix it all together, and then they pour it in the jars. This is not a how-to channel. I'm just giving you fair warning. This is how I do it and how I was taught to do it by my grandmother and mother. So I put the raw peaches in the jars. It keeps the peaches firmer because they're not cooking as long, meaning we're not going to cook them first and then cook them in the canner and they'll be really kind of mushy. I really don't want that. I really like some firm peaches to bake with, to do muffins with, so that they don't all turn to mush. And this is my way. So I've got all my jars filled, the rims wiped down. I've got a simple syrup, which is basically 4 cups of distilled water and 2 cups of pure cane sugar. And if it's not enough, I'll make more, but I'm going to start pouring my syrup. This is going to be like a medium to light syrup, and I'm going to pour my syrup into the jars and seal them up really quickly by hand, and then I'm going to get them over in the canner. This is just a very small batch. This is obviously not a whole bushel of peaches that are sitting here before you. I have not able to get them all canned before I leave town, but I will be canning the rest of them and leaving some frozen for smoothies and baking and that type of thing. So I'm probably going to can about 12 quarts. This is 8 in front of you. 12 to 14 quarts is what I'm going to can to keep on hand. And then the rest I'm going to keep frozen. I'm going to give away to my kids because they each have houses. And we're going to make sure all these get to good families for Christmas and that type of thing. So I also I have another bag in the freezer, but I've also saved all of my seeds, and I'm going to freeze them. Some of the seeds will sprout and some of them won't, but we're not going to take a chance on throwing them all out. I'm going to freeze them and thaw them just like the video I talked about in the first part of this. I watched a video from Kentucky Homestead, and it was fascinating. I'd never really knew that you could take a peach seed and freeze it. And since we're moving to our homestead, I want to have seeds ready to go, ready to start seeds when I get there. So I'm going to freeze all my seeds, and hopefully maybe we'll get, out of the whole bushel, we may get maybe 20 trees. I don't know. And we'll video that when we do that. But so I'm going to get my syrup ready, and we'll be back and get the jars in the canner and get them canning. Okay, we're going to get our jars sealed. Now again, this is what's called a raw pack, where I'm just putting the raw fruit in the jars and then I'm pouring the syrup on top of it. I don't really want to cook them too much. So we're going to water bath can these for 30 minutes, and you check your, go to Google and check your times based upon your altitude. So, or check the ball canning book too. That's a good resource. All right. Now what I'm going to do, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill a jar, seal a jar, put the jar in, fill a jar, seal a jar, put a jar in, because I want to move really fast, because I want these not to cool down at all. I want to get them same temperature over into the water. So, and we're just going to fill them, give them about 1 inch of head space, and then we're going to lady tight them down. And for the ladies before on some of my canning videos that emailed me and tells me that I'm canning wrong, I've been canning for over 30 years. I'm not canning wrong. Nobody's ever gotten sick. I've never had a jar break, and I've never had food come unsealed. So just to give you the heads up, this is not a how-to channel. This is how I can. And if you want to follow the way I do it, great. And if you have your own method of canning, awesome. Okay. We'll spill. And then we're going to take a lid, get a lid ready. Now I've already wiped these down, so get a paper towel just to ensure. I guess I can double check, right? I'm not using any kind of grease, so you're not going to need like vinegar or anything like that on them. This is just pure cane sugar. And these are the blue anniversary series from Ball Canning, just so you're wondering why they're blue. These were on sale, and that's what I bought. So we don't want to crank them down because you don't want them to build up pressure and bust. So there is first jar. Now let's get our other jar. I think Ball Canning has some of the most prettiest jars. I have the green ones too. I wish they would come out with a red or a pink jar. That would be really cool for like breast cancer or something like that. I would be giving lots of gifts away with the pink ones. And you're not supposed to boil them anymore. You're just supposed to heat them up, the lids. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on. Really tight. canner. Next one. I may have to make some more syrup. Or what you can do is, I may do these with syrup and then fill the rest with distilled water. You don't want to put tap water in your jars. Tap water has a lot of nasty stuff in it. So you want to make sure and use a distilled water. I wouldn't even do purified water or even spring water. Or well water. I wouldn't use well water either. I would use distilled water. Just because you don't want any kind of impurities or anything like that getting in your food. Okay, I'm going to do a few of these in distilled water, just for the sake of time. And I'm going to get a little bit creative, okay? I'm going to, before I put this lid on, I'm going to put some sugar in it. Now, the sugar and water is what's made the syrup. So this is going to be, you know, going down into the jar as it cooks in the canner. So 30 minutes of that should make a really good, and I'm just going to flip it like that. Make sure the sugar water's in there. And I have a little bit of sugar water left. I'm going to put this in here like that. Fill it up with distilled water. This one. That one didn't get a lot of sugar, but that's okay. No problem. Use that. You know, pure cane sugar doesn't have the bleach in it, and sometimes it makes the sugar water darker if you're using the clear jars, but I wouldn't worry about it. It's better for you because it doesn't have the bleach in it. Put down the limbs. These are great to do in the summertime when peach season's here, because you'll all have peaches in the winter to do whatever you want. Cobblers, you can make smoothies and mixed drinks, all kinds of things out of peaches, and they're packed with lots of They're packed with lots of vitamins and really great things. I'm out of the blue lid, so we're going to go to these. Okay, I have one jar left, and I don't have room in the canner. I'm going to take the camera over there in a second. But I'm going to leave these in the refrigerator for my husband to eat on while I'm out of town with my daughter. So I'm just going to seal up these, and he can make a smoothie out of them or whatever he wants to do. All right. Now I'm going to take you over to the canner, and then we're going to get the canner up to speed here. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're over here at the canner, and as you can see, I have 2, 4, 6, 7 jars in here. And we're going to get this up to a boil, and then I'm going to can them I'm going to just leave them at a rolling boil for 30 minutes. And they should be good to go. Sealed nice and tight. So we will be back. I forgot to videotape the air bubbles being removed, so just as a tidbit, make sure you remove all your air bubbles out of your jars. These are all cooled down now, and every one of them is sealed. Every one of them is all sealed tight. So thank you for joining us for this video, and you guys have a blessed week. Don't forget to like the video, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to see more videos of our vlog. Thanks. Bye-bye.